Travel stocks holding up slightly better compared to the broader market today. Shares of online travel company Booking Holdings on a tear since the March lows, up 68% from that point. For more on whether this rally in the stock is being reflected in consumer travel demand, let's bring in Booking Holdings CEO Glenn Fogel. Glenn, thanks for joining us. I mean, recent release, 91% fall in bookings for Q2. I guess, year over year, perhaps that shouldn't be a surprise. So it's hard to see how that could have been much worse. But are you seeing any green shoots since then from that?
Well, we talked in our earnings call that we did see some continued improvement throughout the second quarter. So that was good. Of course, now we've seen a little bit of a plateauing around the world as you see either a resurgence of the virus in different areas, and countries are saying, hey, we're not so sure we want to have so many people traveling or not. And just people getting a little more concerned. When you see those rates go up in terms of infections, you see people stop wanting to travel as much. So obviously what we need is a vaccine that would cure our problems.
But we've seen numbers go down, Glenn, just in the last few weeks or so since the peak. Have you seen any pickup of activity? Is it that correlated to what's happening, or is it really just going to take something major like a vaccine to bring back confidence?
Well, I think you really will need a vaccine that makes people feel safe to travel, to get us back to where we were in 2019. And we've been constant in saying that it's not going to happen overnight. Even after we get that vaccine, it's going to get time. It's time to get that out and distributed. And we say that the recovery for us and for travel in general, it's not in quarters, it's in years. No matter what we do in terms of a vaccine, it's going to take time.
I wanted to ask you about the various categories within travel. It's not all equal, right? Airlines, are they getting hit worse than hotels? And if so, what type of hotels? Because we're seeing some leisure demand come back and not business demand. So where are the relative winners and losers here in this space?
Well, no doubt the airlines certainly took it hardest. And one of the things that you see is that people are still willing to travel domestically and close to home. So if you can drive somewhere, you can go to a hotel that's not so far from you. You can still have a great vacation. But a lot of people say, I'm not comfortable getting onto an airplane. But of course, it differs throughout the world. So China, for example, in July, their domestic air business was down only a little bit less than 30% down. Whereas in the U.S., for that same month of July, year over year, we were down almost 70%, or a little bit more than 70%, I believe. So that shows how different it can be depending on how that country is doing in terms of the virus.
Thank you for joining us, Glenn Fogel. We appreciate the update.